Testing 1 2. Think you got any new news? Three, yeah, it's still the same. This morning we saw BSLK building up. It just hit 6 o'clock when retail traders can trade. Let's see if it's what kind of action that it has in between these levels. These levels are actually marked up a while back. Let me see when this was. Edit. On 7/11 is when these were put in. So last month. And it's trading around these levels now. It had news on yesterday, but it is popping this morning. Popped from 360 up here to $4. Is a let's look at this float real quick. Float is 1.73 million. 1.73 million. Had a little pop out there. Let's see if this is going to be a round trip. Now, the day that I marked this up, we had took notes on this one already, so it's already out here on the daily chart. This is a beauty and personal health business out of San Francisco, California. And let me bring this back over, activate. So we are all the way over here now. All the way over here now. And it is trading in between this 409 and 340 level that we marked up the last time. Hmm. 13 million shares traded on it with an R-vol of 7.64. Up 83%. ATR from yesterday was 34 cents. Point of control right now is at the 361s. Let's go look at a 15. Yeah, pretty much 60 cents of movement in here. About double its ATR from yesterday. So previous levels. Let's see anything else that's on the map here above 340. Jump back over here real quick. So this is where it closed on yesterday, and it's opening up here at went to a top side of 428. Is there any obvious levels in here? Maybe the 340 could be one, around the 350 level. But other than that, I'm not really seeing. It's under this, what, 317 is a body here. There's a little bit of indecision at $3. There's a lot that could be. So right here. And then this indecision level right here. Whoops, duplicate or deactivate? Duplicate. Indecision right at the $3. And then below that, I don't know where it can go. So let's go ahead and flip back over to the chart. So these are the three that I just put in. So no, these are the two I just put in, 316 and $3 flat. Let's see where it wants to go. The point of control is at 360 though. The news from yesterday was they reported their financial earnings. It says that vegan silk technology platform revenues grew 23-fold year over year, driven by growing commercial momentum. The company delivered positive gross profit ahead of its internal estimate and is initiating gross profit guidance of 0.5 million. So $500,000 for 2025 and $1 million for 2026. Full year revenue guidance remain unchanged at 4.5 million and 9 million respectively. Bolt has entered into a non-binding term sheet to secure up to 20 million of financing in preferred stock and an equity line of credit from Ascent Partners to be drawn in tranches. Okay. All right, it is still moving though. It's still popping and stuff, but lower than that that original drop point of 409. $4 starting to act like some type of resistance. Starting to act like some type of resistance. Bottom of this candle is 394. Let's see if it continues to pile down. $395s. Almost broke it down. It's looking like it's going to need to dip from here. That's going to be a weird 1 minute for it to pop all the way back up. Also, yesterday afternoon, X4, the one that was trading pretty much all morning or whatnot, it actually ended up halting and is still halted into this morning. So it got going up from 174 all the way up here and just halted out of nowhere at 2 o'clock or right before the close. Still halted there. So I'm thinking bad things are going to happen. If a stock just stops trading for this long, from, let me see, that was 15 minutes, and then all of aftermarket, it was halted. That's not good. Okay, BSLK. $4 still doing its thing. It's 2 times facing a little resistance here at this $4 level. So it may need to do more of a dip. We'll see. $15 million shares traded on it. Not seeing a whole lot of volume come in up here. Not as much as was at 350 at the 6 o'clock hour. It just got going and absolutely ripped up. So people could just be profit taking off of this rip if they were in for that 60-cent rip. Okay, so now breaking down even further away from the 4 and breaking. So that's a lower low right there. It's a little sign of weakness. We'll see how that holds. They're trying to catch it, but man. Yo. Let's flip over to the 5-minute. Trading completely under the body of this candle. See that 388 holds. Then on the 15-minute, nice little top and tail wick coming right now here to the 388 as well. Okay, 384 is there. $388. Trying to hold that up. Let's see if a candle can close above 388. Close above 388. What does a test back to it look like? Tested 4 right there. That was kind of an extension away from 88. 396. I guess we're gonna get a test of 388, a violent test of 388 here. Yeah, okay. More volume coming in here. I see it coming over. Small little break of this little 1 minute candle. Anybody about right there is in a bad situation right now. We'll see if they get pushed out of their positions. Little false breakout there, dragging them all the way down. Now they will be down a couple of cents. Still no test at 388 though. Almost 16 million shares traded on this one. This one, SP and S just popped up there. Let's see. Nah, very low flow or very low volume. Oh no, don't like that. Oh no. Back over to signals. No new signals, only BSLK getting those pops here since the hour, top of the hour. Now there's the test of 388, and that took it a long time just to go down there and test that on this little downtrend. The 5 minute trading completely under the body of this previous candle at 394. $15 has closed. 393 was that top side. So what's the chances that it gets back up to 427 with the news that it had from yesterday on earnings? What are the chances? So now it's testing 388 a little bit faster, a little bit more momentum. That's weird. More and more volume coming in here. So if it switches direction after this, all this volume comes in, that's going to be a bad sign. It's going to be looking like weakness. More volume. It's got about a couple seconds here. Not looking good. Still holding around at $4. Even more volume coming in. So under the 399. Let's see what a 399 drop does for it. Right back up to that top level. Bottom of this is 399. This is one of those. Ten seconds left. Retesting this top level. No new news has popped off on it. Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of weight on this stock up here. For it not to have just exploded out of here, just did another lower high. Will shorts get more egregious in here? Looks like I see volume in here still not enough to bring the point of control up. Maybe it needs to do a further dip back there to that 399 level. Or past the 399 level rather. We got this 385 down here. It was a very tight range though, about 25 cents or a little bit less, maybe 15 cents in here. And that whole dollar level continues to be a problem. Jump back over here to the 5. So what we're looking at on the 5, indecision here at the 394s. So somebody's got to make a decision there. On the 15 minutes, another top and tail as well. More volume coming in here without a breakout. More volume on the false. Are those shorts jumping on or what? Okay. More volume coming in here on the false break and all of that stuff. So, is this short confidence coming in back towards the 4? Small little breakout again, just like we saw on, what was this one, and then it turned around. So very small little 414 up to 415 and then right back down. Let's see if even more volume comes in up here. And it continues to just piddle around. Indecision. So this is his third time above $4 this morning. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, so now the point of control just moved up to 398, right under the $4. All of that volume being in there without a hold of that whole dollar level. And then the next point down here is 384, which I think it can probably slice through, but we'll see once it gets there. With this many people on top of it, 18 million shares traded on it. X4 opened up. X4 opened up. X4 going upward right now. Let's see what happens. It's got 200. Whoa, that thing is blowing up. X4 is moving right now. It has 300,000 shares traded. Opened up from its yesterday close of 264 with a huge rip out. Did it receive news or something? Let me see. X4. X4 does have news. It says it's announces closing of a 85 million offering. So it closed that offering on today, closing upsized private placement of 11 million shares of common stock, offering the originally announced offering of 60 million was increased to allow for inclusion of an investor who had pre-existing investment right. Okay, so that's pretty much allowing him to get on out of there. So yeah, coming up to a million shares traded, almost went up very quickly to 332. I saw it on the spike list, and then now is moving down at I guess he's selling his position. That investor that had the investment right, he's got more rights than regular people, so they changed the whole stock for him. So he must be swinging a big bag, a pretty big bag there. But now it's only up 2%, so definitely not looking great. And now it is negative on the day, so not even up 2%, down 3% down here. So I would be very careful down. Wow, still going down. It's all the way down to the ATR lows there. Million shares trade on it, but it's negative on the day, so I don't want to play with that. And BSLK starting to lose volume here as people are trying to probably close their position on X4 if they were holding overnight. And this $4 level continues to hold this. Okay, let me continue watching this spike list. Yeah, that X4 move is crazy. Point of control all the way down here, 258, 248. And it is pouring downward. So these are the levels that we saw yesterday. This 225.13 we had marked up that is coming back down to, and then on down to the 174 and the 168 down there. But getting some major sell-off. It stopped right at this ATR low, but I don't know if it's going to be able to hold it. Closing that candle right there. Let's see if it can continue to move down. The bottom of this candle is 231. 231. Negative on the day. So I think that's not going to be a great trade to try to take. I think BSLK will be safer, even though it's not a great trade either. I just kept it on the watch just to see it open up, but man, that open was disastrous. So let's see this thing get below 398 with some gusto. ATR low. So it moved from the ATR high down all the way. That was a huge move. 50 cents drop. And its ATR from yesterday was 27 cents. And its ATR for today, well, it hasn't popped on my scan yet. So it's got to get some more volume to pop up there. Well, actually, it's got to get more. It's got to get a lot more of everything. Oh, I'm tripping. ATR is 51 cents for this morning. 51 cents. So it moved from 27 to 51. So about doubled, but it doubled to the downside, not the upside. Then we got this one still right at this $4 level. Almost 20 million shares on BSLK, and it is slowing on down, slowing on up. Still sitting at 398, making its way on down though. Bottom side really from 390 to 384. It's a little zone here, and we'll see how quickly it drops through that. X4 jumping back up. 2 million shares traded on it, only up 6% now. What's the probability of it jumping all the way back up here to 332? That would be insane. Let's look at the 5-minute on this. 5 minutes and then the 15-minute. Not exactly been 15 minutes, still trading within this ATRs here. So from ATR low up here to ATR high, right at the 285s. Didn't quite get a tap there, but tap down here. Let's see what it does. A little test at the ATR high. Let's see if it gets knocked back into this range. Point of control just moved up there to 281. Finding that resistance around that level. Up 10%, but I mean, definitely questionable play here. Can it really go back to 20%? Is that really a possibility here? Came back, tested that ATR high there. Let's see if it dumps. So the bottom side of this candle is right at that point of control, 281. Yup. Couple seconds left. Yeah, that's an insane swing. I mean, who in the world? Actually, you know what? I don't even know if these were buyers. These might have been sellers covering. Like, imagine you're a seller, you buy at the tip top here. This could have been sellers covering. With the volume that they have right now, 3 million something shares traded. I mean, I could see somebody getting 3 million shares, taking this drop and covering. So I don't know if it's going to have buyers to power this move with this kind of short action. That's what I'm thinking. And right up here to this ATR high, starting to struggle underneath it. BSLK is still not doing much either, under the $4. Continue to just slowly roll down. Now not even up 10%. So struggling to hold this 10% gain. And so these ATR levels here that are out here are based on yesterday's ATR, so 27 cents. So basically they come in here and they say, okay, well, wherever it opens up, add 27 cents and subtract 27 cents, right? So it's going both ways from the open. And then that's what we're seeing it play within these ranges. Add and subtract. Now it says that it has ATR of 51 right now. So, you know, the ATR could be wider, but pre-market, I mean, I usually like to use daily levels rather than pre-market levels for any kind of decisive, like, okay, is this thing going to turn here? I like to see the daily levels. Speaking of daily levels, over here, so let's say these folks right here where it closed or halted at 258, it is still above that level, still quite a bit above that level. So we're just kind of waiting here. Just got another little tap here to the ATR high. So definitely confirming that something is there. And it is respecting the ATR of yesterday. So a lower ATR than what it's got posted here for the morning of 51 cents. All right, back over to BSLK, still slow rolling it. A lot of more attention on X4, especially from the shorts. Only way you can get a short squeeze is to have shorts over here. So, you know, if shorts and longs are in agreement on BSLK, it's not going to do anything, especially when there's looking like some kind of imbalance over here on X4. So, yep, tapping, tapping, coming on down. So the bottom side of this candle is 274. Let's see if they go ahead and pack it down. Another time to nail the hammer. A little breakout of this would be 292. Let's see if it does a false breakout and snatches back in. Top side, a little bit of volume came in there and they are on it. They are on it. So looking for it to get back below 285s here. Closing this candle in 15 or 10 seconds. This thing's up 14% now. Let's see a dump back below this 286 level. Where y'all at, shorts? I know y'all active out here. You got 4 million shares now. Up 15%. Reaching that whole $3 level. A lot of people like to trade whole and half dollars. So let's see the action back towards that 286. Small little burst downward. Let's get all the way back into the range. Okay. $5 million shares traded on this one now. Definitely looking like a nail is being hit with a hammer, for sure. Wow. Still got some more juice to go up. It's a lower high. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like, what do you even do with this? Except get out the way. Almost 6 million shares traded on it. It's almost up to 17%. Still playing with that whole dollar level. Yeah, this type of move is definitely unpredictable for sure. Too late to get in CRDO. Kano says let's look at what CRDO is. Is that where everybody's looking? What? No. Um I don't know if this is a swing trade for you. What is this? What kind of trade is this for you? Swing or what is that? Because looks like maybe a swing, or maybe you're playing options. Maybe you're playing options, but I don't know. What is CR? What is CRDO? That's something that got recent news or something. Credo Technology Group. Last news was on July 22nd. It says it raises a 40 million Series B to revolutionize semiconductor manufacturing. Okay, so semiconductors, and the last news on July 22nd, so the end of last month. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is too late. Because it's definitely okay. A swing, got you. Let's look at the daily chart on K or what is it? K or CRDO. CRDO. Okay, so this one 20 had a gap up, fill that whole gap down to $34. Yeah, this thing's on a riptide on semiconductors, so I don't know if how long do you usually hold your swings? Are you doing like 3 to 6 months, or are you doing like just 1 month or a week or what? Because that would definitely change the time period that it has to play. Would definitely change. And BSLK, what is it doing up here? Again, it's just sitting at right under $4. X4 still piling up. Almost 6 million shares traded. 4 months. Oh yeah, let me see. So let's look at the 4 month action on this for CRDO. Let's go to a monthly chart. Do I have a monthly chart on here? Monthly max, yeah. Okay, so this is what the monthly chart is looking like. So in a 4 month period, I mean, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Maybe it will never pull back. I don't know what. I don't know if a pullback will happen, but looking at this monthly chart, this month right here in April seemed like pretty good. I don't know how much further it can go. It literally is doesn't have any other information, so I really don't know on this one. That's huge. So I don't know. Definitely looks like it's an extension, but it hasn't really given a signal like this down here to make it look like it's gonna turn around. Let's jump back to the daily, max daily. Okay. So yeah, definitely big green, but interesting. To wait 4 months though, that may be a little dangerous. Looking at this previous time here, this already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of upward movement. I don't know where would it even dip to here? Would it dip back to around $80, right around this indecision? But this indecision kind of got cleared up here by this big buying candle. So it kind of invalidates the indecision. If it comes down, will it make a new indecision somewhere between 100 and 40 something dollars and then continue up? I don't know. But it does look extended. It definitely looks extended. All right, back up to, oh my goodness. I took my eyes off of X4. And yeah, X4 is broken the high, over 45% here. Okay. Okay. X4 is a moving here. Almost a 10 million shares traded. Like, shorts are getting their accounts blown on this for sure. After this right here, that's an insane drop. Completely shattered the ATR high. Yeah, they're getting their chiropractic procedures done right now, getting their little backs twisted and aligned. Cause this would hurt. You get in short big, you get in short again around this top, and now you're down $1. 10 million shares traded. Man, I hope not. I hope not, Cable. This is unprecedented. I thought they were just covering, but looks like buyers jumped in there. And now the point of control is above the ATR high right here at the $3.06. It exploded. It is what it is, though. Tell you one thing, whoever that investor is that they respected so much to allow this to happen, bro, I just feel that he is in a very good position to be selling. Let's go back and read what it actually was on X4 that they were doing for him. So let's just go back in here and read this one more time. Since we got time, since this thing's on the moon right now. Okay, August 13th, the company driven to improve the lives of people with rare diseases of the immune system today closed an upsized private placement of 11 million, I just rounded 11 million shares of common stock and pre-funded warrants to purchase 48 million shares of common stock for total offering proceeds of 85. So this is a buyback? Wait a minute. Close an upside private placement of 11 million shares of common stock and pre-funded warrants to purchase 48 million shares of common stock for total offering proceeds of 85 million. The originally announced offering was 60 million, was increased to allow for inclusion of an investor who had pre-existing investment right. The offering was led by Coastlands Capital with support from existing investors, Imperi Asset Management. Okay, so they got a bunch of asset and partners and all of these people making money right now on this. So it was led by all these folks. X4 expects to use the net proceeds from the financing for continued development. So they're basically just making money off of retail for real, towards a potential additional approval of mavorixafor in chronic oh my gosh, what in the world is that? Neutropenia. The securities sold in its financing are being made in a transaction not involving a public offering and have not been registered under the. Oh, these that they actually put out have not even been registered, um, and may not be offered or sold. So these are preferred stocks. So we may not even be touching the preferred stock in the United States except pursuant to an effective registration statement or an applicable exemption from the registration requirements. X4 has agreed to file a registration statement with the Securities and Exchange Commission, registering the resale of the shares of common stock and the shares of its common stock underlying the pre-funded warrants sold in this financing. This press release shall not constitute an offer to sell or a solicitation of an offer to buy these securities, nor shall there be any sale of these securities in any state or other jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful prior to the registration or qualification under the securities laws of any such state or other So are they even touching the shares that were allotted to these people? Are these people just like, can they even sell? I don't even know. Um, okay, let's jump over to Benzinga. Let's ask Benzinga some questions about X4. Because basically what we just read was that they have these shares that are not, they can't be sold. Looks like, let me see. So they increase their float, basically, right? They increase the supply, or no, did they increase or decrease? They bought some. Let me go back over. Okay, let me just ask some questions. All right, so X4. Tell me about the X4 financing deal where shares repurchased or sold. Okay, great question. Digging into the financing deals like X4s is a smart move, especially given how such events can swing the stock's trajectory. Let's break down what's happening with X4 Pharmaceuticals as of August 13th. X4 financing deal shares repurchased or sold. Based on the latest available news and filings up to today, X4 recently completed a financing transaction. The structure of these deals typically involves either the company issuing, selling new shares to raise capital, or repurchasing, buying back shares. Okay. For X4, the most recent transaction was a share sale. Okay. So they're raising money, meaning they issue new shares to investors. This move is designed to bring fresh capital, often for funding operations, R&D, and extending the company's cash runway. Wow, that's a great way to put it, isn't it? Company's cash runaway. There are no indications of share repurchase program being announced or executed as of this date. So shares were sold to raise capital for operations. Special note, the most notable aspect here is that X4 chose to issue new shares rather than buy back existing ones. Okay, so they pretty much have diluted, yeah, this can dilute existing shareholders, but provides much needed liquidity for the business. So it's diluting what the shareholders have. That's why I was like, aren't they adding to the float? Okay, so yeah, they added to the float. Um, and let's see, this can dilute, especially critical for biotech firms in growth or clinical trial phases. Takeaway, the recent deal was a share insurance, not a buyback, or a share issuance, not a buyback. This is typical for companies that need capital to fund ongoing projects or extend their operational runway. Okay, so they are making money on this. Okay, so they sold and they diluted this stock here. So I'm definitely looking for this thing to be a crash dummy in a little bit. Definitely. BSLK just continued to just chop on down. Yeah. Yep. I guess people are starting to read. Uh-oh. Dilution. Your shares aren't worth the same thing that they were earlier. Okay, so yeah, I'm good on that. Let's jump back over here to signals and see if anything else is popping up. I highly doubt it. These two have been the stars of the show for this morning. BSLK and X4 on the signal list, and they're the only ones. So basically, on this signals, I added some columns here. So I added this ATR, relative volume, and volume, so I can actually select by volume or what's got the highest relative volume here, or whatever I want to do, and the highest ATR as well. So yeah, of course Tesla is up there, but that's a really big one, and its relative volume is super low. So yeah, very interesting. But I usually focus on, hey, where are the people at? And so BSLK and X4 are definitely where the people are. And X4 is actually caught up with BXLK. It's only got 6 million shares to go to fully catch up. Let's jump back over here and look at the actions after this dilution. This is crazy. So basically, anybody that's buying this right now, they're buying behind dilution. So I'm wondering, are people selling from the top, the ones that are like, well, we might as well get the most value as we can, and these folks that are coming in trying to buy this don't understand that, hey, this is the dilution. This is they're selling you depreciating assets basically. Ooh, this is gonna be nasty during the day, man. It might halt down actually on the open. 702 right now. Continue to move on down. Maybe everybody was read down the article at the same time, because this thing I was reading and then it just started. Doo, 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 doo. Wow, wow, wow. Almost 88 cents out of there. Straight up dilution. Yeah, I think it's too late to take inverse position at this point. The shorts are definitely in control. Point of control is all the way up here, 354, and we'll see if more volume comes down here and drags that point of control back down. But majority of people traded up here at this 354. First time going up, it was right around this $3 level, and now there was a short attack up here. And the probability of it going back up to 388 now that the news has been sitting out there since when did that news come out? 6 a.m. It's been an hour, so people could read this for an hour. So I'm guessing the shorts did their due diligence, and they're gonna be mopping the floor with this one all day. Why sell? They decrease the value of the stock, um, or why buy is the question. Why buy? There's absolutely a reason to sell. So what would cause another short squeeze? I don't think anything's going to cause another short squeeze today. We're returning all the way back down to this ATR high where we started. That's crazy. Cable says MNTS climbed volume like by like 4 mil. Okay, I see that one on the spike list. I just haven't paid attention to it. What's the news on it? It says Momotis secures a NASA contract to study the launch of robotic technologies for future space exploration. I see that at 7:01. Oh, that was 5 minutes ago. Okay. It's got 6 million. Let's go look at that one. MNTS. Dude, ooh, ATR yesterday was 8 cents. What's ATR for today? ATR today is 11 cents. You got to be willing to take 25% of that. So what is 25% of 11 cents? 25% of 11 cents times 0.25 equals 2 cents. So are you willing to take those 2-cent winners, baby? Turn into a scalper pro. 2-cent winners. Neither one of those two have caught up with BSLK. I don't even know why BLSK is still up here. It seems like X4 should take it out pretty quickly, but look at that, man. Just diving on down. Diving on down, man. Buyers are like, nah, man, what are we doing? Why are we buying a depreciating asset right now? Shouldn't we wait for a bottom? And they just getting on out the way. Getting on out the way, sweating bullets. All right, MNTS. Yeah, I saw that picture you dropped in there. Scalping. Oh, yeah. These wicks is throwing down are definitely, what was that, 51 all the way down to 41, so a 10 cent right there. X4 under 20%. Going on down. I mean, will buyers come back in there at all? BSLK back up to $4. Once again, it's got the highest volume. But it's that, I mean, it's the beauty and personal health. I really don't like that. This is this daily chart here, or was this the monthly chart? No, this is the monthly chart. Let's go to the daily. Boy, that monthly looks spooky, doesn't it? Woo. Look at that. All right, let's go to the daily chart. Yeah, that one monthly definitely looks crazy. But it is right around, back around that $4 level where it fell from the last time. Oh man, today is looking like the open's gonna be a little spicy for the shorts. And this cannot hold up $4, it seems. Made a lower low. So last one was 384 and now it's got a 373. Will it continue to just make lower lows? Still up 82%. So holding quite a bit of its gains. I would like to see what it does on the open with those gains. Is it just going to give it all back? MNTS on that give back dance as well. Has 10 million shares traded now. 10 million shares traded on MNTS. It does have news on the day. But let me go read into that news actually. Let's go see what we can see. MNTS, so today is the 13th. Let's open that up. MNTS, so pioneering in space robotics, lays groundwork for future autonomous missions and orbital services innovation. Momentous Inc., a U.S. commercial space company offering satellite components, and in-space transportation and services, announced today that it was awarded a contract by NASA to perform a study to fly critical foundational robotics technologies into space. Momentous has subsequently completed work under this initial contract and expects to submit a proposal to NASA to fly a follow-on mission that will demonstrate this cutting-edge technology in space. NASA expects to award a contract in September, and Momentus is one of two companies under evaluation for this larger contract for the follow-on mission planned by NASA. This mission marks a pivotal step in NASA's ongoing efforts to test and validate key technologies that could support the next era of space exploration and stimulate commercial robotic servicing operations in orbit. The contract awarded under NASA's Flight Opportunities Program, managed by the agency's Space Technology Mission Directorate, tasked Momentus to conduct a terrestrial study that explored options to fly advanced robotic systems in space aboard one of its upcoming orbital service vehicle flights. Okay. So they are currently in competition with another company. Don't know what that other company is, but they're in competition with them to win this contract. Neither one of them has the contract yet. So I think that's a little bit of a future type looking into the future type deal. That's probably why it isn't receiving all of the focus that it should be, because neither one of them have the contract yet. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of analysis, reading up on these things to see, is this something that has happened? Is it good news that has happened today, has happened in the past, or is it something that is kind of future casting? Because that, people, they get excited about headliners for sure, but it's like, when is this happening? What are the timelines? What is the money looking like? Are they even talking about money? This contract, they don't have anything in here as to what kind of money is going to be coming from NASA. Now that NASA were to give them, I don't know what the contract would be to do a ride along. It's not like NASA is the one that's providing the actual ship to space. Their technology is just doing a ride along. So I don't know how much they would give them for that. So I don't know, but we out here. BSLK still holding under $4. X4, yeah, the excitement is definitely dying out of X4 with 25. It's almost the leader in volume. It's got 25 million, almost about to cross over BSLK. BSLK still has 27 million on the board, and MNTS, the one we just read about, kind of on the fence. People just getting in early. Maybe I'm thinking bigger investors would be investing in a dip, but we'll have to see what that dip looks like. I don't know if it's gonna just be crazy. ATR on MNTS is still 11 cents, so it's moving 11 cents at a time. So not a huge mover there. Let's jump over here to the we've been on the, y'all were on the spike strip here. So basically this is all the spikes categorized into their volume. We're looking for where the people are on the spikes. And this one is set up to look for low floats specifically. So anything that's like, 100 million shares or something like that, it's really not going to show up here at all. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back to the main chart. MNTS was the one we were just talking about with the NASA news. They're fighting for a contract, and we'll see if investors fight with them. I don't know what the other company is. Let me go look and see if AI can find the other company here. Okay, so what company or what other company is bidding for the contract that MNTS is competing for contract, the NASA contract that MNTS is competing for. And I probably should put a what out here, or is it already out there? Nope. What other company is bidding for the NASA contract? And it's 15 let's go look at that. Who is their competition? Okay, great question. Tracking competitors for major NASA contracts is a smart move, especially when moonlight navigation technology solution is involved. As of today, the latest public information indicates that several aerospace and navigation technology firms are actively bidding for high profile. I know that. However, the specific list of competitors for the exact contract MNTS is pursuing isn't fully disclosed. Okay, so we don't know who their competition is. Their competition could be so historically companies like Lockheed and Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Honeywell Aerospace have been regular contenders in NASA navigation and lunar infrastructure projects. There's also growing competition from agile private firms and international consortia. If you're looking for the most up-to-date and precise list of bidders, I recommend monitoring NASA's official procurement announcements or industry news outlets, as these details can change rapidly and are sometimes subject to confidentiality until awards are finalized. So they could be going against some heavy top guns, is what they're saying. And we're seeing MNTS, like I said, they're in a fight for their life. Especially if they're bidding against Lockheed Martin, all these people that were over here, these are some pretty big names right there, those three. So if they're going against them, they're going to need heaven and earth to move for them. All right, so back over here, BSLK is still doing his thing. X4 has not passed them yet, but X4 is continuing to trade downward. Yeah, the news, it affects the market, but it also gives you a little bit more insight. Like X4, if you didn't read X4, you would have just been trading, if you would have been just trading momentum, you could have made money. But not knowing about the dilution is trading kind of in ignorance. So you can still make money without looking at the news, but the news definitely has an effect. It gives you a reason why this sell-off happens. Now the reasoning for this buy up, there was none, right? This was the irrational move, and now the rational move is happening. So they diluted their stock, they increased the float, the amount of shares that are tradable, and diluted the stock of their investors. So imagine you have a stock that is worth, I don't know, $5. And the company decides, hey, we want to make money, so we're going to flood the market with a new supply, which is going to devalue our investors' stocks or shares. How would you feel as an investor getting treated like that? Is kind of like what we just looked into, right? And so as you can see, the investors are like, yo, nah, bro. There's a lot of people dropping shares here. For MNTS, the question is, hey, who is their competition? Because they are not giving us any monetary information, what monies will be allotted, and then they're not telling us what competition is on the board for this little company. This little company is worth $1.11 or $1.40. Well, it was $1.11, and it popped up only 65 cents. So that's a 50-cent move. Yeah, sure, there was some excitement, maybe some bots or something dropping onto this, but who's their there's a lot of questions that are definitely to be answered there for sure on MNTS. And then for BSLK, it's a beauty and personal health supply company. It popped right here at the open, not the open, but the when most retail traders start trading is at 6 o'clock. It popped here and struggled at this $4 level, and it continues to just drive down. X4 is about to pass it in volume. It has 27. Both of them have 27 million. BSLK is closer to 28 million than X4, but X4 is running towards it. X4 is only up 13% though, so Will interest stay on X4? I don't know. It came down here again and hit this ATR high right there and had a little bit of a bounce, but I still don't know if buyers are going to be just head over heels for it now that it's at 13%. MNTS and BSLK. Okay. So these are the three. Let's jump back over here to the signals and see if any more signals are coming up with some more news and volume. So let's see what we got here. BSLK, X4 are leading the list. MNTS is in there. THAR, what is THAR? I don't even know. It's only up 7%. APBO is down. Okay, BNC is up. But that RVOL is pretty light. So if we look at these RVOLs are telling us, hey, how much interest is over here on this stock? You know, you really want to see especially for low flows, you really want to see high interest on the stock. So RVOL definitely matters. Volume matters, but RVOL matters more. ATR definitely matters. I don't know. In a lineup of things that matter the most, I guess I'll be looking at ATR, RVOL, float, volume, just kind of like it is right here. ATR, RVOL, float, and volume. ATR is going to tell you average true range. How much can you expect to get? How easy is this thing going to move from one price level to another, right? Like this one, BSLK has ATR 47 cents. So could you expect to make 5 cents easily? Probably, because it has ATR of 47 cents. The way that I look at it, I kind of do like, hey, whatever the ATR is divided by 25, that's pretty much my target. Or not divided by 25, times 25%. So you can get 25% of the move on that ATR. Just take a quarter of the move, basically. Not expecting the whole thing, but sometimes the whole thing happens and you just don't expect it. RVOL, like to see that up definitely over at least 2. So RVOL is basically like the deviations away from the norm. So what is the normal interest? The normal interest would be 0. So how many deviations away from 0 can this thing get? This thing's got 16, 26, whatever. Sometimes RVOL gets up into the thousands, depending on what kind of stock and how it's moving and how many people are really interested. Then the float is going to tell you, hey, how many shares are, available to be traded and available to be moved around here, right? And then the volume. So yeah, that's all of that. Jump back over here. X4 is under $3. Came back up, tapped the $3 level. Still has not crossed over BSLK, but BSLK is pretty much dead as well in volume, and we're looking for some new things to pop. MNTS still popping back and forth, has a low side that it keeps holding over. Did we look at the daily chart for MNTS? Daily chart over here. So it closed here at $1.11, and it's all the way up to 150. So somewhere up in here, is it any obvious levels up in there? We have this big point here up to the 191s. Could be a daily level. Let me mark that up as a daily level. Maybe around the 190s. I can't put that as an exact price, but I mean, it's obvious on the daily chart. So let's edit that and put in there possible daily level. Possible daily. What's this? So the wick, this is the wick. So going all the way to 175. Well, I should have just duplicated. Duplicate 175. So that's a little zone there between 173 and 197. And now we back up. So do we see anything else that could be obvious that would form or would be some type of resistance or support? Anything that's obvious that everybody would be like, oh man, this is it, right? Okay, I don't know. We'll just have to let it play around there. It hit a top side of 165, so it almost hit this 173 this morning, but just couldn't exactly get there. Um, let's see. Good morning, Donnell. Good morning, everybody that is tuning in. So the top three that we've looked at this morning were BSLK. It's a beauty and health supplier, whatever company out in California. We looked at X4, which halted yesterday and unhalted this morning, halted even before the close and stayed halted until like 6:25, 6:30ish this morning Central Standard Time. And then we also looked at a call out, which was MNTS bidding for a NASA contract, but we don't know what the competition is and we don't know what the money is looking like on those contracts. X4 is almost caught up to BSLK in volume. All right. But yeah, that was some pretty good analysis this morning. If you guys so we have a Discord. It is free. You can jump in there. Literally, we continue the conversations over in Discord every single day. Sometimes I'm working or whatever, but I try to definitely answer questions and things, especially if you're using the platforms that I'm using. The trading platform that I'm using is TOS, Thinkorswim. The charting, or not the charting, the scanners that I'm using is with Benzinga. It is a paid service, so um, you know it's going to cost you money, but it's real time data, real time whatever, all of that good jazz. But other than that, if you need help in TOS building, and one thing I like about TOS is you can script your own scanners and script your own or plot your own um, strategies, plot your own strategies onto the charts. So I kind of like that for that. It's one of the broadest free trading platforms that you will find. So, it is with Charles Schwab. They switched ownership, but they've been with Charles Schwab for, a while now. So it is what it is. You sign up on there, you can get a free platform and learn how to set it up. If you need any help, we can jump on a video call in Discord and we can set that up. But we'll have to schedule that because I can't just be jumping on there. Just let me know when you want to do that. Anyway, those are the three from this morning that caused the most noise. So we'll have to watch and see. It is hump day. Nice Wednesday morning. SLK still doing his thing. Has not been overpowered yet. X4 is trying hard though. Continue to make these lower lows. MNTS. And that point of control has been drugged down. So it was up here around 360 something. It's drugged down all the way to 315s. But this was a incredible, insane, nonsensical move right here. And then the logic came in. So non-logical, logical. Based on the news that they have. This one, BSLK, still making lower lows as well. I haven't seen anything else pretty much spike up on our spike list. All right, well, yeah, that's the pre-market. I will continue to watch. I'm about to get ready for my morning meeting. Of course, I do have a day job. I work in IT. Around here, making sure computers perform the way that they should and that they are secured the way that they should be. But yeah, we'll be back in pre-market tomorrow. Like I said, you can join the Discord. The link is in the description. And you can join the Discord for free. And yeah, get more information. But yeah, that's about it. And I'm about to sign on off for this morning. And as always, appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.